and welcome to our exclusive season kickoff party. Joining us today on stage, we have the owner and CEO of Pacific FC, Rob Friend. We have Pacific FC's assistant coach, Armando Sá. And new to the PFC roster, we have Nathan Mavila. Again, thank you all for coming. Just so you do know, we have our merch tent set upstairs, and we also have the CPL trophy. So if afterwards, after the Q&A, if you want to go take some pictures, take a look at it, that would be great. And I'm going to pass it over to Rob.
Thank you. Testing, yep. Hello everyone, Rob Friend here. Been a couple years since I saw everyone in public, and it's a special time. Hopefully we're out of this pandemic, and nice to see all the familiar faces. Want to start off by thanking our staff. Our staff is behind the scenes working day and night for this organization, and they're not in the limelight like the players, but they do a fantastic job. So thank you to the Pacific FC staff. So I wanted to take a few minutes here to sort of recap on the last few years, talk about the off season, talk about what the future of Pacific FC looks like, and you guys have been here since day one. All these faces I see, and you guys have been loyal to this organization, and I can't thank you guys enough. So, yeah, the last 3 years has been quite the journey, and 2 years of the 3 years have been in a pandemic. And we're still here. We're standing. We've survived it, and it certainly it's been a tough ride. And for this league, we started this 4 years ago as a vision to have domestic professional soccer in Canada. 5 years ago, if we sat here today, 5 years ago, saying we're going to be in the World Cup 2022, we're going to have a player that has won the Champions League, and we have a professional league coast to coast. Who would have believed, right, that we're sitting here? So it's a special time in Canadian soccer. And it's exciting, and we're a small piece of that. And as a former player in this program, in this national team program, as an ambassador, I've been waving the Canadian flag around the world for the last 20 years, saying we are a football country, and we can finally say that we're relevant. And this league has a lot to do with that, right? So. Again, 4 years ago, we had a vision, Josh, Dean, and I, to bring professional soccer to Vancouver Island. People thought we were crazy. People thought it would never last, it would never work. And we're standing here today, again, after 2 years of a pandemic, that we're still here. And I'm proud to say, and it's because of you guys. It's honestly because of the season ticket holders, it's the supporters. It's all you guys coming week in, week out to Starlight Stadium, supporting this club, supporting our coaches, supporting our players, and supporting our staff. And it means a lot. So again, I can't thank you guys enough, and to bring the championship to Vancouver Island, to seeing Champions hat, people wearing it around, to seeing purple in the city. Again, 3 years ago, people didn't know what we were. They were asking, "Are you guys professional? What is the Canadian Premier League? Is it professional? Do the players get paid?" And we can sit here today. Everybody knows Pacific Football Club on Vancouver Island, and everybody knows Pacific Football Club in Canada. And again, to sit here, it gives me goosebumps to think that 3 years ago we were nothing. And 3 years later, we said when we started this organization that we're going to bring a championship to Vancouver Island in 3 years, and we did it. And we did it, and we're proud. And thank you. And it's because of everyone in this community, and I really mean that bring it to Vancouver Island, to bring it to this community means so much. And we're not going to stop. And it's been quite the off season. Again, the championship meant everything to the organization, to the community, and unfortunately, when you win a championship, people want your players, people want your staff, and that's part of the game. That's part of what we're doing. And people ask, what's happening? You guys, you're losing everybody. Well, that's what we're trying to do. We want to bring players to this organization. We want to bring staff to this organization, and we want to move them on. That's why we're here. And that's what leagues do around the world. There's not a league in the world that doesn't move staff and players on, and that's why we're here. That's what we want to do. That's when we talk to players like Chris that come here. We want to move you on. We want to push you. We want to challenge you. So that's what Pacific FC is about, right? So you know, in the off season, there's a lot of turnover. We've lost Pa. A lot of players left. But again, I take that as a compliment. You know, you look at Lucas and you look at Caden, what we did. We brought them out of nothing. Lucas was on the path to being an architect, and I said, "Come here. We're going to move you on." 3 years later, he's starting for Toronto FC, and honestly, I'm going to say this: I think he's got a chance with the Canadian national team in the World Cup. Imagine that, right? John, if you're listening, Lucas is not in the World Cup. I'm telling you. So that's what this organization's about. And yes, there's a lot of turnover, but we're excited about our season and our squad this year. We brought in guys like Chris. We brought in staff like Armando. We needed the changeover. We needed the turnover. We wanted fresh faces in. I'm telling you, I truly believe this year we have the most competitive squad we've ever had in the 4 years of this organization. So I'm very excited about the players that we brought in. We have our core. We've got Marco coming back fit. We got to get a player like Baldissimo that I'm telling people, this is like a new signing. He's one of our best players. He didn't play the entire season last year. So I'm very excited about our squad for the 2022 season. It's very competitive. And I'm excited to kick off against the mighty Forge on next weekend because I want to kick the shit out of them. So we've got this season to play for, and people ask, well, what does Pacific look like in 5 years? What's the long-term vision? And I think it really ties into what Canada Soccer is doing. We're part of this ecosystem in this country. And again, we have a domestic league that's going to support this national team. Pacific FC is part of that, right? It's part of the growth, part of the development of the game. What do I see Pacific FC looking like in 5-10 years? Well, we want to expand the stadium. We want Starlight Stadium. People talk about Starlight, and a little side story. I'm talking to Bill Manning, who runs TFC, when we had Toronto FC in the Canadian Championship. And he called me and he says, "Rob, what's it going to take for you guys to play us at BMO?" And I said, "No chance. We're bringing it here. The Starlight Stadium. Nothing. You can't pay me enough. You guys are playing here." "Well, no, what's it going to take? Money, whatever. We want you guys to play here." I just got a call from my assistant coach and our scout saying we cannot go to Starlight Stadium because we're going to get our asses handed to us. That's from Bill Manning in the semifinals of the Canadian Championship. So we have a reputation at Starlight Stadium that people don't want to play us there. And so what do I see Starlight looking like in 5 years? We're trying to get an 8,000 to 10,000 seat stadium. We want to host big international games. We want to bring Canada national team, the women's program, which we brought. We want to continue to grow the game, but ultimately I want to see 5,000 to 8,000 every single game. And people thought we were crazy to bring pro soccer to Vancouver Island and saying it's never going to work. Well, I want 5,000 to 8,000 every single game. Why not? I want our supporter section, our Lakeside boys, the TOP boys. I want that entire section to be so loud and to be full every single game. I want a reputation in this country that is one of the most intimate venues in this country, and I believe we can do that. So I see that at Starlight Stadium. So we are working with Langford. We are working to expand the stadium. We want it. We are working to move the power line. We will be expanding the stadium very shortly. So I'm excited about that, which again is going to create a better atmosphere. It has to be an intimate venue. I'm telling Stu and Langford, so they're committed to do that. We want to develop young players. We want to develop local players. We want local players to inspire to play for Pacific FC, to get into the program and to move them on into the national team at higher levels. And we're going to do that. We're committed to do that in our communities. We're investing in the youth here, and we eventually want young Vancouver Island players to play for Pacific and to move them on. That's part of our vision, and we're going to do it. So that's part of our long-term plan. We want to bring women's football to Vancouver Island. What does that look like? We're working on that. I'm very vocal. I'm very passionate about the women's game. We're going to bring women's professional football one day to Vancouver Island. I mean that. And I'm committed to that. We're committed to that. That's important. That's part of the growth, right? So women's football, young players, Canadian national team, I want our players in the national team, and I mean that again. So that's part of our sort of a high level vision at Pacific Football Club. We don't stop. We're not going to just kind of relax on winning one championship. We want to be relevant on the international stage. We have CONCACAF coming up this year, right? So we want to be relevant in CONCACAF. Top 2 starting next year goes into the CONCACAF Champions League group stage. I mean, I want LAFC, I want LA Galaxy, I want Inter Miami. I want these teams coming to Starlight Stadium saying, I don't want to play here. And we're going to make that happen, right? So again, 5 years ago, who would have thought, you know, I'm sitting here saying I want LAFC in the CONCACAF Champions League to play here, and we're going to make it happen. So it's a lot of hard work, and it's up to these guys on the field. And but from a ownership organization standpoint, we're very ambitious, and we want to keep pushing the envelope, and we're going to keep developing, and we're going to keep investing in the community, investing in the club. But ultimately, it's you guys, and you guys are the club. You guys are everything. You guys are the foundation and the heart and soul of this organization. And I can't thank you guys enough. So I can't wait to see everyone next weekend at Starlight Stadium. Bring your friends, tell everyone to come. That thing needs to be full, and I want it full every single game. Honestly, I want that stadium full every single game, because these guys, they're doing everything on the pitch, and we got to support them. So thank you very much, and let's enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, we are now going to move into the question and answers, so the Q&As. So if you do have a question, you can put your hands up, and we have lovely Alexa that will come around and facilitate the questions as well. So if you do have a question for any of the gentlemen up here, please raise your hand. I'll start it off. This one's going to be for Nathan. This one's for you.
Yeah.
How is it being with PSC starting off? You've been here for about a month, 2 months. Tell us about how it's been so far.
It's been great. I felt like there's a bit of pressure, but good pressure, because I played in Calgary, we didn't get a trophy, and I'm walking into a team where they just come from winning the trophy. So I feel the pressure to be better every day and to add to the group so that we can get another one.
Armando, I'll ask the same question to you, and you have a very, very good playing and coaching resume behind you, so just kind of you as well and your ambitions for this season.
Hi guys, first thank you for everybody come and to support us, and I think I share the same, everything what Rob say, we share the same passion, the same goals. We want everything the best for Pacific. And me as a coach, in this case as assistant coach in the gym, we together, and we will do everything to show you guys how these boys work, how these boys, they could do everything to you guys can have proud of them. Okay guys, I'm very happy to be here, and this island is beautiful. I love it, the weather, I love it, everybody here. I'm very happy, and I'm ready to work and show to all you guys the work we're gonna do it to try to bring another title to the island.
Yes, over there.
I haven't watched football for quite a while because I got really fed up with all the waving and just really wasted time. I'm English, so I grew up playing football. I was really, really impressed when I first saw Pacific this year about their discipline, like their personal discipline. I didn't see diving, I saw good, hard play. Now my question is, are we going to keep that up? We've got a few coaches now. Please keep up that discipline. That's my question. Is that the same way we're going to carry on? Disciplined play.
That's actually, oh, it is on, okay. So I'll reiterate that. I think essentially the question was the intensity of play, are we keeping that?
No, I appreciate that, and if you ever saw me play, I wasn't a fancy player, but you would never see me rolling around, and it drives me absolutely crazy, and it's part of the game I got no time for, and it's something that we as an organization, That's very important. That's very important. That discipline and on and off the field, right? These players, the staff, we represent this community, right? And from an organization standpoint, I can speak on behalf of that. And again, a lot of these things, as in my playing career, I wanted to instill in the organization. That was instilled in the players and the staff. So absolutely, discipline number one. So thank you. I don't know, Nathan, not Chris.
Yeah, from myself, I'm very tough. I'm English too, right? So you know how we play. We're very tough, strong. So we do none of that rolling around business. We're upfront people, we work hard. So again, that's what I'm looking to bring to the team. And yeah.
Jamar will kick your butt if you do.
Hopefully not.
For me, guys, it's very simple. I'm this game for many years, and the discipline, the work, the passion, the sacrifice, you need to be with us. We can achieve all the results, guys. All the titles we want. It's very important. We sacrifice, discipline, and the passion need to be together.
All right, we all know there was a big turnover in the coaching staff, so I was going to ask, what do you guys think of Jamie Merriman as the head coach now? Like, how does that feel from your guys' different perspectives?
Well, yeah, no, first off, and I didn't touch on James, and James is an Islander, right? And the Merriman family is a fabric of the football community, the soccer community on the island. So it was very important when we were making the decision. James Merriman was always in our plans to become the head coach of Pacific FC. It was just a matter of time. We knew Paul wasn't going to be here for a long time. So James is ready. James has always been ready. He's been preparing for this. He's been in the Whitecaps organization. He's been through multiple coaches at Pacific FC. He's purple, right? And he's island. And so it was an easy choice. We didn't even think about it. As soon as we had the meeting with Pa, James was the next call, and he was ready. So James is certainly a different type of personality as Pa. Not as loud. He's certainly a lot more methodical. But we have full support behind James, and very, very excited about what he's going to bring, because there's no one more passionate about Vancouver Island and this club than James Merriman. So number one, he's here, and we're very excited about him. I can't speak on the field. I'll let Nathan go.
Not Chris. But yeah. No, James, I'd say don't mistake his reserved personality for anything. You know, like Paul was a complete different personality, as we all know. But James is a lot of the brains behind Paul, right? And you can't really mistake his quietness for a weakness, so to say. I really enjoy his coaching methods and his man management. He's brilliant with all the boys, from the young boys right to the oldest. You know, so he will surprise a lot of people. He's a very good coach.
Question for Nathan. What do you think about playing against Pacific in Starlight and now for Pacific in Starlight?
It's funny because I played here 3 times in 2019. We played here once in the Canadian Championships, twice in the league, and I was talking about it, funny enough, with Sheldon. We played here on Canada Day where we lost 3-1, and I played terrible. But I remember that was the last time I played here, and it was a hard place to come because I think tables had turned. The season was turning. It wasn't a great season for you guys, but yeah, I remember that day was a tough day. Prior to that, I'm sorry to say, but it was pretty easy. But now it looks like a very tough place to come. I watched the game against the Whitecaps, and it was scary. I just looked at myself from a player's perspective, playing for the Whitecaps, playing against a packed stadium, and that's scary. You know, you hear no one for you, but you hear everyone for them. It's tough, you know, and we often say as players that the fans are the 13th man, 12th man, right? and it really does play a massive part for us. So as Rob was saying, to get you guys down is massive, massive. Because to win another trophy, it won't just take us, but it's everyone.
Armando? Yeah. Can I ask a question in Portuguese? O que tu acha do estilo de jogo do Pacific contra os outros times da CPL?
I'm gonna first in Portuguese. Acho que temos uma grande equipa, temos um jogo muito apoiado. O conjunto dos nossos jogadores são todos técnicos, são muito bons. Temos jogadores muito bons ofensivamente, temos muita qualidade no jogo, em todos os setores, defesa, meio campo e ataque. Temos muita qualidade e acredito que somos muito diferentes das outras equipas, porque nós queremos jogar, fizemos tudo, nossos treinos é mais posse de bola, tentar jogar e tentar jogar bem e ganhar. Okay? And English now? No, he asked me about our style to play and the style to the Pacific team against another teams, the difference of style of the game. And I tell him it's like we're very different. We're a team. We like to have possession of the ball. We like to take the game. We like to control the game. We decide where the game going. We want to do everything. We want to be home, and especially home, we need to be in charge of the game, the rhythm of the game. That's what we're gonna do it the best, and like home and outside. But that's our style. It's very different to other guys, more direct with soccer. We don't want that. We want building. We want to play beautiful and win. Okay, guys.
Great, thank you, Armando. And another question here.
Hi. So we know what a lot of the talent from PFC is like. We've seen in previous years. But there's a bunch of new signings. So not to make any of you pick favorites, but from each of you, is there one new player, you can pick yourself if you want, that you're most excited to see this year?
Armando, we'll start with you. Yeah, choose a player.
Sorry, I don't want to do that. First, because as a coach, I respect all the players, and all them, they have quality, and each player has something to give to the team, and this make a team, make a family, make everything, because you cannot go to a band. Everybody, everybody want to touch the guitar, one is the battery, but everybody make a music, it's like we as a team, everybody have your style, and we need to appreciate the style of each player. Sorry, guys.
Very political. Well done. I'll stay the same. What I'll speak on is the philosophy of the off-season, how we sign the players. Really, we started with trust the kids from the beginning, and the Trust the Kids Foundation won us a championship. I'll certainly say that, right? And we don't have to talk about the players that started. I think it was important. There's sort of a changeover after 3 years. You need to start getting in some fresh legs, fresh faces, fresh personalities. So when James and I sat down and we said, okay, what does this look like? What does it look like in this year, but what does this look like in 5 years? What's the philosophy? We need to get back to sort of what is the strategy of Pacific FC, which is really a foundation of youth, exciting talent, but also mixed in with some experience, right? So you're looking at a guy like Nathan, he's got CPL experience, he's got international experience, but really we got to make sure that we're also feeding this organization, this club with young talent, right? So you need pieces of experience, but this club has to be fed with young talent because we want to move players on, we want to sell players. That's part of the club's philosophy. So you look at some of the young kids we brought in, very talented internationals, bringing in some young Canadian talent, and then obviously sprinkled in with some experience. So I'm very, very, very excited about the young talent we have in, because that's the future of this club. But this guy sitting right here came here for a championship this year, right? So that's very important as well to bring that sort of mentality.
I would say everyone, as Armando said, each player brings something different on and off the pitch. It's important just to highlight that it's not just the team on the pitch that makes the difference, it's the personalities of it too that creates a good environment in the change room. So you'll see so many different new signings, and if you follow us on socials, please, if you don't, please do. You'll see what we get up to in the change rooms, and it's amazing. You know, everyone's please do. everyone's a character. Everyone brings something new and different. So it will be exciting, and I look forward to it.
I was wondering what players we have coming up from Vancouver Island through the organization. Are there players that you have identified on Vancouver Island?
Yeah, I can't speak on names, obviously, but what I can say is really we've invested in the Vancouver Island Wave program, Van Isle Wave. We have our Trident development program. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, this development, this is a long-term strategy we have. So we've taken that, we're investing with the right coaches. So we got to invest in our coaches in this community as well as to have the best coaches. Make sure we're challenging our coaches with coach licensing. So when the young kids are playing, that we're assuring that the coach standards are at the highest level, which it previously was not. So that was the number one. So we had to look at that. Then what's the talent pool looking like? We're a small island, we get it. So I do believe we can get the best. Vancouver Island's always been, we don't have to name names. There's talent in here that might have played in the World Cup 1986. Pecos, hats off. So this has always been a soccer region. Is there talent? 100%. Is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. There is talent. I could say, we're looking at U13, U14, U15 groups. That really is the long-term investment. It's a 3 to 4 or 5 year strategy investment. But I'm watching my son who's playing U13 right now. I'm seeing players. I'm saying in 2-3 years, this guy could be coming into the first team, and that's exciting. That's so there is talent out there. We're seeing it. I think there's a handful in every age group that we can honestly say they're going to be playing for Pacific one day, which is pretty cool to say, right? That's very exciting. So I can speak on that.
All right, we'll get an answer to this one, I think. Hopefully it won't be political on this one. Who's the funniest player on the staff?
You might know this one.
The funniest staff member, or the funniest player? Funniest player, Umaro Balde, the Portuguese guy. He's young, 19. The TOP guys would know. The funniest guy. He's from 9 in the morning when we come in. He turns on the music and he starts dancing up until 9:45. We train, we come back in from 12 till about 1:30. He's by himself just dancing. And that's what I mean, like the personality's off the pitch, what makes it on, right? He's an amazing player too. But his personality off it, it just creates a platform for everyone to be themselves. So that's what's amazing about him.
I think Nathan don't want to tell the truth because he's the one too. He and Balde, the guys more vocal in training, and they like to dancing, they like to enjoy. For that, I think these two guys they very important for the group too.
Okay, we have time for one last question, if anyone wants to get it in. Anyone? Yes? Okay.
Thanks. Can we get a comment on the ownership transition plan?
Am I on the spot now? Yeah, I'm gonna be political on this one, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm honest in everything I do. So we set out to grow the game in this country, right? And us ownership group, we said, okay, Vancouver Island Pacific Football Club. This is our baby. It's our first child. I've got 3 kids. I love every single child equally. I treat them equally. But when they're in the backyard and they're playing against each other, they're kicking the shit out of each other, and they better, right? And I support both of them equally. So when I talk about investment in this country, we are here to invest in the game. So we've invested a lot, blood, sweat, tears, capital into Pacific Football Club. We want to continue to grow the Canadian Premier League, because without the Canadian Premier League, I'm sorry, this nation is going to be irrelevant. So, we have the opportunity to invest in another market, to invest in the game. So when I say invest in the game, ultimately, I can walk away tomorrow. Pacific Football Club is here. It's here to stay. It's you guys. It's the supporters. It's our staff. It's not me. We started this. We helped it. I'm the gatekeeper. We're the gatekeeper. That's it, right? And I can leave tomorrow. Someone else, it doesn't matter. Pacific Football Club is here to stay, and they want to beat the shit out of every single team. James Merriman doesn't care who it is. He wants to win. The players want to win. His coaching staff, the staff, you guys. We want to create a rivalry. So Vancouver is the elephant in the room. We're investing in the growth of the game, and I'm going to leave it at that. And that is important to us and I want both organizations, like my 2 kids, to beat the shit out of each other, to talk crap on each other, and I'm going to sit back and laugh and enjoy it, and that's it. Because we're continuing to invest in this game, because the Canadian Premier League needs to be successful for this nation to be successful, and that's why I'm here. I'm here waving the Canadian flag because I want us to not only be in a World Cup, I want us to compete in a World Cup, and without a domestic league, that's not sustainable, right? So I want young players. Everything we're doing here. And that's it. It's simple. To me, it's not complicated. From a structure standpoint, we have a structure in place where both teams are separate. There's a clean line from an organization. Myself, I'll be pulling away a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Pacific Football Club is here to stay. Our staff, Brad, everybody runs this club. That's it. You guys are here. You guys are the heart and soul. Our players. Doesn't matter. James Merriman wants to beat the other organization across the ferry. So I think to me, it's pretty simple. There's From an internal standpoint, there's going to be a clean line. There's not going to be any blurred lines there. And then ultimately, I want you guys to talk shit on the other club, vice versa. And I want you to beat the crap out of them. I want a rivalry, and I'm going to sit back and enjoy it like my kids do. So it's exciting. This game is growing in this country, and we want to do what we can to support that. So that's what I can say.
Okay, thank you Armando, Rob, and Nathan. Thank you so much for coming up. And thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the food, the beverages. We do have some raffles coming up soon. And we also want to thank Grant Olson as well. So have a great evening.